Oh, here's something a little bit bittersweet for your Friday. The added sugars that are in some of our favourite snacks could be eating a lot more sugar than we actually think. The average Australian, in fact, eats 14 teaspoons of added sugar every single day, which adds up to about 22 kilos a year.
Oh, God, I don't know if I wanted to know about that. So, what food and drinks are the worst culprits? We're going to go through this with our dietitian and nutritionist, Dr. Joanna McMillan. Morning to you.
Good morning.
Added sugar. I mean, a lot of food has naturally occurring sugar. When does it start to be classified as added sugar?
Exactly, and that's the key point, Tom. What we're talking about here, the recommendations for added sugar do not include those sugars that are naturally present, mostly just in fruits, whole fruits, not fruit juices, so whole fruits and dairy products, so essentially milk and yogurts. So that's what's really important. Those are actually whole foods that have a whole bunch of different nutrients, usually have fibre, in the case of the fruits, alongside those sugars. So it's a totally different thing. Those sugars are not associated with any ill effects, in fact, associated with good effects.
But we can see on the screen there, they're the different names that you see on the back of the ingredient list, and so it's hard to know.
That's what's so confusing. We've got something like 42 different names, and often manufacturers will, because the ingredients has to be in order of the amount in the product, often what we see is this sort of several different sugars being used, and you read this long paragraph of ingredients, and actually there's about 5 different forms of sugar in there, and that really all adds up. So it's those added sugars that we want to cut down on. A little's not going to hurt, but of course if you're having more than the World Health Organization recommends no more than 6 teaspoons when we take overall health accounts, including our dental health, which is very, very key for the added sugar story.
So 6, okay.
6, okay. So you've got some examples here. Everyday things that we probably encounter.
Well, I thought I'd put you two to the test, because we've talked about sugar a bit.
Yeah.
You know, you guys have got some good knowledge, so I'm going to put it to the
You're
test.
basically testing whether we've listened to you all these years.
Okay, all right.
Basically.
All right.
Let's do it.
Well, I've picked 5 different foods and drinks, and these are things that commonly... I'll give you a little story behind each one as to why I've picked it. And what I want you to do is I've put out what the manufacturer says is a single serve of the food or the drink, and you're going to guess how many teaspoonfuls of sugar are in each one.
Okay.
Yes?
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's start with the yoghurt. Now, I've deliberately chosen a vanilla yoghurt, so we don't have any fresh fruit in there. It's a vanilla yoghurt. How many teaspoons do you reckon is in that? It's a 150-gram carton of the yoghurt.
Of added sugar.
Added sugar, yeah. So you're not counting the naturally present sugar in what would be a natural.
Oh, I cheat.
Oh, you guessed the same. Well, I'll tell you what, you were not bad. 2.3 is the answer.
Okay.
In the vanilla. So that's
right.
the added sugar into the yoghurt. So if you chose natural yoghurt, so if you bear in mind our thing for the day is 6.
Yes.
If you choose a natural Greek yoghurt instead of the sweetened one, you've already saved 2.3.
Okay.
OK, here's a favourite now that we're coming into summer, an iced coffee. So instead of getting your normal coffee, you choose the carton of iced coffee.
Oh.
A little bit delicious, I have to say. How many teaspoons do you reckon? Now, the serve is quite big. It's 500 mils of the iced coffee. What do you reckon? The added sugar. So again, not the sugar that's in the milk, the sugar that is in the coffee. And it's 6 teaspoons. Deb, you're pretty close there. Tom, you're underestimating your iced coffee. That's 6
I'm going to keep telling myself it's 4.
All right.
They are quite delicious.
Okay.
There is a difference, of course, between brands, but that's an average brand, one of the most popular brands that's got 6 teaspoonfuls. OK, now, if you're having your burger or your sausages, your barbecue on the weekend, and you're slathering with barbecue sauce, now, a serve should only be 15 mils, but I know lots of people who would do more. How many do you reckon is in 15 mils of barbecue sauce?
In a serve?
In a serve. So that's your serve. That's how much barbecue sauce?
Humour me here, Joe.
You're in the middle. Tom is closest, is 1.6.
Okay.
So in that tiny amount of sauce, you've got 1.6 teaspoonfuls.
Okay. Next one's my favourite.
Right.
I love
the apricot delights. Well, you know, I picked these because lots of people think these are a healthy lolly. So what do you reckon? So that's about 8 apricot delights.
They're really good.
What do you think? 2, 0.
Yeah.
4.
No.
You really like those.
Teaspoonfuls
I love
in
that.
that tiny amount of the apricot delights.
And what's the last one?
And then we've got our last one. Now, I've picked this one. Who loves a G&T? You know, we're coming up to Christmas. You might be having a sneaky little pre-dinner
Me, Mrs.
drink.
McMillan. Me, Mrs. McMillan.
So this is 300 mils of the tonic water that goes into your G&T. How much sugar?
My hopes and dreams, aren't you?
I'm going to go with...
Well, it's good news for you, Deb, and Tom. You are closest because it is 6.1.
Wow.
But the good news is that gin's good for you, so it
Does it
cancels
cancel
each
it
other out. It's fine.
So,
wow.
well, you know, I thought I'd choose tonic because I think you'll get a little confused between soda water and tonic water. So soda water is not sweetened, but your tonic water does have a lot of sugar.
So
I've
who
been
won?
told it was 3-3, but I think Deb, for your artwork on the side,
did you like my artwork?
might have
did.
just got you over the line.
I was a doodler.
Congratulations.
I was a doodler in class.
You were
so
trying
I
to make
just
it
wanted to do
happy,
it
a
as well.
happy story.
Joe,
Yeah.
thank you for making us feel guilty this Christmas
Yeah, thanks
period,
for putting
but
us to
very
work.
Merry
educational.
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Joe.